Hello guys and welcome to Shaky Camera Time. My name is Resteph and I've just come back from the Retrocollect video game market in Leeds. We bought some old games. Started collecting these a few months ago with my dad actually, and well, I'll show you what we picked up today. Quite happy with it. So firstly, something boring. This is a controller for a Sega Mega Drive, known in the US as the Genesis. You know, we got a Genesis, we got a Mega Drive, but it only came with one controller, and we thought we needed another one. So we got that, £4, it was pretty cheap. The next boring thing is this. Enter the Matrix on the GameCube. It's a dirty box, but it came for, 99p, so we're happy with that. Now, if I can just find it, there we are. The last boring thing is this. Little extra for the Nintendo 64 that we didn't have. Needed it for enjoying ourselves on the N64. Speaking of the Nintendo, interesting stuff. So, this is an N64 game, Mission Impossible. And, as I can see by opening this up here, it's boxed with its little booklet. So that's pretty good, actually. N64 is more recent than a lot of consoles, but you really don't expect to find them very often, especially for that price. Next we got another one. This is Pro 99. Same situation, as you can see. The box is a little torn, but it's, it's alright. That was given to us with something else as a free extra. You can haggle a lot. Now, this one I'm actually more excited for. Pilot Wings for £10, which is a really good price for this excellent game. It's still for the Nintendo 64. So we got 3 box games for the Nintendo 64, which is quite good. £10 is a lot to pay for Pilot Wings, but it's cheap when it's in its box. So, next up, you guys might recognise these games. They are much older games. Here we have Defender, which is a Atari 2600 game. The Atari 2600 came out in 1977. So this is very basic sort of gaming here. It's quite tiny, fits in your hand very easily. Yar's Revenge, another one for the same console. In fact, we've got quite a few of those. Pretty cheap. It's a common game, but we like it, We end up with 2 copies of this. This pack here that comes with a small selection of games. One of them we brought, and the other one we actually got as a free extra. So we thought we might as well take the other one as a free extra. Now we've got 2. Then we've got Pole Position. Again, a Atari 2600 game. It's a bit close up. Let me just zoom the camera out. Same deal. And the final one is this. Return of the Jedi. So those are the games. Now there's actually 2 things here which I'm very excited about. One of them is this. The collector's edition of Dungeon Keeper. This thing is quite a beauty, and we're going to spend quite a bit of time just carefully taking it out with one hand. It's going to be a bit awkward. Right, there we are. As you can see here, we've got booklets of various degrees of importance. And we got the games, the old PC games that come in essentially cassette. This is what looks like cassette tapes, essentially. The sort of thing you buy with music in it, but now it's, back then there were games like that. So, me and my dad have both been big fans of Dungeon Keeper and Dungeon Keeper 2 for a long time. So it was nice to be able to get that. It's definitely a nostalgia trip for us, both of us, even though I'm a lot younger than him. Now remember these little Atari things? Well, it turns out that when we bought those, we didn't have an Atari 2600. We bought the games before we even had the consoles. So here is the console. Also bought in the Leeds market, you know, all of this was. This baby defines classic. Look at that. The box is surprisingly good for its age. And we got it, and it's amazing to see this thing, because, like I said, this came out in 1977. So we're going to take all this rubbish out. Here, we've got controllers. This comes with two of these. Very basic initial controllers. You've got this very stiff stick here, and then you've got this button. Two of those. Two of these controllers with the same sort of array, except you can spin this rather than having to use the stick. Did I forget to mention this baseball game as well? I think I forgot to show you guys this one. Pretty basic. A little booklet here. So I'm surprised that we got all this stuff with it. Now it's time for the console itself. Yep, this is it. This, so old, it's made out of wood. Well, part of it is, the rest is plastic. Very firm console, quite light. And you can see here all the little buttons. We got power on and off. We got TV type. Got difficulty, left difficulty, right difficulty, game select, and game reset. Options that you don't really have on new consoles because they managed to not need them. I wasn't expecting to find this at the Leeds market, and I'm really happy that they've got it because this thing defines retro, defines classic. So, you might be asking, what does it sound like? What does putting a game into this sound like? Sounds like that. I could do that all day. Slide out. Slide in. This is just an amazing piece of kit to have, you know. It's older than the NES. It's probably one of the earliest home game consoles that you can still find readily available. They are a lot older, but only a few years. It's a pity, you know, that Atari don't make consoles anymore because this was pretty much ahead of its time. I might end up doing videos of gameplay on the Atari, but you can know for now that it's pretty simple. So I've been Steph, and this has been the stuff that I've managed to find in Leeds. See you later.